In this video, we're going to talk about how you can give feedback, especially critical feedback, or have a difficult conversation in an appreciative way, and how to stay open emotionally so it can actually be received well and be a constructive conversation. And if this is the first time that we meet, I'm Jonas, and on this channel we talk about authenticity and personal growth. We provide tools and ideas that help you gain clarity, freedom, and fulfillment in your life. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. So it is important to understand that there's two layers that are going on while you give feedback. One is what you're actually saying, the kind of content of your feedback, and then there's the emotional and relationship level that is also going on at the same time. And in this video, we're not going to talk that much about the logical level, but a few things that you have to take care of in order to have a difficult conversation or give feedback, especially critical feedback. And the first thing is to ask if you can actually give feedback or if you can talk about a certain situation that happened. So you're invited to give a feedback. And the second thing is be very specific instead of kind of blurry. So don't say you never do this or you always do this or I've seen you always do that or whatever, but more like yesterday at this time you did this and it made me feel that way. And now let's talk about this other part, and this is the emotional or relationship part of giving feedback, which is often overlooked, but I feel it's like almost the most important thing when giving feedback. Because feedback can be something to really help someone grow and expand and learn more about themselves. But if you're not emotionally open and if the relationship is not well established and you don't create that space of staying open and letting the other person feel that you really mean well, then you really want them to grow, then it's difficult for the feedback to be received well. Now let's talk about the emotional part of giving a feedback. And the important thing to understand there is that you have to learn and see what is going on inside of yourself when you give the feedback. Because oftentimes when we are about to have a critical, difficult conversation or give someone a feedback, we are consciously or subconsciously, we're afraid to hurt them. And it's not nice to hurt people and we don't want to hurt people. So what we tend to do is we close our hearts and we close our bodies and we close ourselves down and we only focus on like kind of saying what we want to say on the logical level, but emotionally we're closed down. And what that creates is, for the other person, it's like, if it is critical feedback, it's already kind of a slap in the face on the logical level, but then also on the emotional level, it's also a slap in the face on the emotional level. But if you're staying open and you let the other person feel that you really love them, care about them, and really want them to grow, then the other person is going to feel that and is going to be much more likely to receive the feedback well. And through doing that, the relationship that you have with this person can grow and can go deeper. But if you close down emotionally and if you close your heart, then this can be a challenge or even damaging to the relationship. So feedback is something that has a great potential for people to grow and expand, but it also has the potential to make things very difficult for people or kind of this at the extreme, like even destroyed relationships. And all the difference is being emotionally open and building that space for the other person to feel that you care about them and that you really appreciate them. And this whole idea of giving a feedback starts as a child with your father and your mother. And what oftentimes happens, like even though you know that they care so much about you, when they give you feedback, something that you did wrong, and you don't feel that they really love you, you don't feel the love in the moment that they give the feedback, when they're not staying emotionally open, the child is hurt and feels very hurt. And this is oftentimes where this fear comes from, of like giving a feedback where we feel we're gonna hurt this other person. But by staying open, we can actually change that perception and start to give feedback in a way that is more appreciative. Now let's talk about how you can actually give feedback in this appreciative way and stay open emotionally. What I would invite you to do is when you have a difficult conversation or you want to give someone a feedback, before you do that, do this little visualization meditation where you visualize yourself in the conversation or giving them the feedback. So what I would invite you to do is to follow me along in this little exercise and start to imagine being in that situation where you would give this other person the feedback. And then see what happens with you emotionally. What happens, what do you feel? Like, imagine yourself being in this situation, giving this feedback. What kind of emotions are coming up? How do you feel? And then in the imagination, like, you imagine that, and you can close your eyes, and you can actually tilt your head down a little bit, and also have your eyes look down, because that's going to help you focus more in your body. Because oftentimes we get so stuck in our heads that we forget about our bodies, and then our bodies closes down, and the connection is kind of lost. So let's see if we can focus on the body and feel the body while we're imagining giving this feedback. And then let's see if we can just stay present in our heart, and maybe even put your hand on your heart and see if there's a little smile coming out of your heart. And if not, just be present with whatever is there. And just imagine giving that feedback while feeling your heart, and see if you can let your heart be or stay open even while you give the feedback. And just see if you can have your heart stay open even when you give this feedback. And just put your hand on your heart and just see if you can stay present emotionally while you give feedback. And just see if you can relax into that situation and let all the emotions come up that would come up if you were to give that feedback. Maybe it is anger, maybe it's sadness, maybe it's fear. Just allow yourself to feel these emotions and see if you can kind of still stay open in your body, and see if you can feel the difference between closing down and not wanting to feel the emotions while you're saying that, and opening up and allowing yourself to feel them and just be present with the emotions. And just see if you can relax a little bit more into those emotions. Because these emotions are going to come up when you're in the conversation, and when you allow yourself to have this space to learn to relax into them, even in advance, it's going to be easier for you to give this feedback. I will also link a video where I talk about more about how to stay open and open your heart. And the other thing you can do is to deal with this kind of tension that's rising when you say something that's difficult. You can learn to feel your feet and feel your legs, and feel the back of your legs, the back of your legs and the back. And just try to see if you can just feel that the tension can flow down. That flow down into the earth. Just feel your feet and see if you can relax. And if you can relax some more. Feeling your feet. See if you can relax even more. See if you can imagine giving that feedback and feeling your feet, and feeling your heart, maybe feeling your legs. Just see if you can relax. Relax in that imagination. And then just see if you can feel the difference, and just ask yourself, could I open myself emotionally? And then could you close yourself emotionally? And just see if you can feel the difference. Could you open yourself emotionally? And could you close yourself? And just see if you feel any difference, if you can feel that feeling of being open in your heart and in your emotions. Just play around with this a little bit and just see if you feel any difference. And the better you're able to feel that, even if you don't feel it, just try it out. And just use your hands. The more you can just use your hands, especially in the front of your body, the easier it is going to be at some point to feel this emotional openness, or when you close down. And so I invite you to check, to kind of play around with this a little bit and see if you can learn to be and stay open in this visualization. And if you feel more relaxed in that situation, that's when you're going to be ready to actually talk to this person. And when you then talk to them, try to stay open in your heart, try to stay open in your body, and just see how this is going to be received. And I know it's not something that is very easy to grasp with your mind, but it's something that is very important, and the better you're going to understand that, or to, like, from an experiential level, the better you're able to feel how your body closes down and opens up with people, the better you're actually able to relate with people, and the greater you're going to have, the greater relationships you're going to have. Because the body and the emotions are really where a relationship is established. And giving feedback is something that can help you tremendously to grow, and that can help other people tremendously to grow. And in order for it to have this effect, it's necessary to have this openness emotionally and to be really emotionally present. So at the end of this video, I'll link a video where I talk about how to open your heart and how to ground yourself, which are kind of two ways that you can play around with when you give feedback. Let me know in the comments what happened when you did this visualization, and also let me know in the comments what happened when you gave the feedback. How was it received? And hey, if you liked the video, please hit the like button. And to support my channel, I would invite you to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications by pressing on the notification bell, so you will be notified when new videos are going to come out. And so this video is where I'm talking about how to open your heart. And this is the one where I talk about how to ground yourself and ground down the tension when you're in a challenging situation. So have fun watching and have a great day.